Welcome back to Prep Rally. Rick, we are back after a great trip over to Farmington last week. I just still can't get over that stadium. I mean, wow.
Couldn't have been better. Had the skydivers, some good football games. Farmington, Prairie Grove couldn't spoil the party.
They couldn't.
Farmington won the game 27-7, and we partied all night long.
We did.
Till wee hours in the morning.
At least till about 9:30.
Yeah.
I could party like I used to, Rick, till about 9:30. Then I'm done.
9:45 for me.
If I take a nap in the afternoon, I might could go to 10:30.
I gotta have 2 naps.
There you go. So we'll talk about that game here a little bit, but first we're going to talk about some of the other games that happened in week 1. We're going to start over in Oklahoma, over in Owasso, where Fayetteville, which won their opener big time over a school out of St. Louis, they were taking on Owasso, coached by Bill Blankenship, who coached at Fayetteville. They won their first game against Bentonville West. So those two got together over at Fayetteville. But, Rick, it was not much of a game. Owasso, they laid the smack down on Fayetteville 51-19.
When I pick up the paper the next morning, that's what I was, whoa, what? Man, I completely missed on that. I do my picks, I completely missed on that. If they get a bowl of, I'd be like Jethro Bodine eating a bowl of crow. Man, just Owasso, so you got to say that Bentonville West played them tougher than Fayetteville High did. I
think they did, and then if you see what Bentonville West did to Southside on Friday, they just went down there and just dismantled Southside. I think Bentonville West is kind of getting it figured out on how much these kids are going to need to play both ways and figuring out there when they catch them a break. And we're talking about Nick Whitlatch and Jonas Hickson primarily. Those are the two primary ones that play both ways. They're figuring out where they're going to be able to get their rest in and get them a little breather and then get them back in the game. I think if they don't have it figured out, they're pretty close because they absolutely annihilated Southside on Friday. So we had that one going on. Now, we talked about this in week 0, Rick, week 0.
Yeah.
Remember Har-Ber went down to Pulaski Academy in 84-68. Well, we had another one of those last week. Rogers, LaRock Joe T. Robinson.
Joe T. Yep.
66-58 in regulation. Now, Mike Lloyd, who's coached 157 years of college and high school football, said it's the first time he's ever scored, that many points in a game and lost. I mean, Rick, what is this world coming to?
I don't get it. It seems like anybody here, Lloyd, the quarterback, throws what?
5 TD passes.
5 touchdown passes, and they lose the game. I don't understand what's going on with high school. So some coach a lot smarter than me is going to have to explain how teams just keep scoring. Are they putting all the good athletes on offense? And
well, Rick, I don't know. It's when we were played, way back, dinosaurs. Well, they had just died about a week before we started playing.
Yeah.
But defense was a premium. If you scored 14 points in a game, 17, you had a pretty good chance of winning that game. Now, if you score 17, you still could lose by 11 touchdowns.
And that's when I moved to Fort Smith, I started covering North Side, and I always heard about Grizzly defense. And my goodness, I saw it up close. They had linebackers, they had D linemen, and they would win the games like 17-14, 21-14. And
Wait. I think an LSU player just got another cramp on defense. Okay, keep going.
But they won the game. But during the later years, Northside went that spread, and the games were like 55-48, and so I got to delve into that. I don't understand it.
A lot of people love it.
I don't.
I don't. What it's done is, I tell you what I do like about it is it's taken players who are skill position players who back when we played, if you weren't a tight end or a lineman or a big bruising running back, you couldn't get on the field. Mm-hmm. Now, kids who can catch passes, which when we played, you didn't throw a pass unless you were behind or it was 3rd and long.
Hey, I played tight end one year, and my assignment, I still know it 30 years later. Fires, go down and block the safety. Fires, go down and block the safety. Go down and block the safety. That's all we did.
That's all you did.
Because you had a sweep or you did dive plays.
Well, now let's. A lot of kids get on the field, and that's a great thing. Yeah. That's a good thing. What I don't like about it is, as a sports writer, I have to do that box score and do the scoring summary, and it's 43 touchdowns, and I have to type all that in. So I got a personal vendetta against that. But I think it's great. I got no problem with it. I think it's great. It lets anything that gets more kids on the field, more kids playing, I love it. So Rogers and Joe T, another crazy game. Then another game we had. Now, I'm going to give Springdale props here, Rick. they're a young team. They graduated 107% of their offense from last year. Grant
107?
Allen gone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
give 110% so you can graduate 107, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They lost
That's
Grant,
from the Jethro Bodine school.
not equal. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they lost their quarterback, Grant Allen. They lost Pounders. They lost, great running back Vaughn. Everybody graduated. So Springdale, Zach Clark knows they're going to be young, knows they're going to have a lot of growing pain, a lot of pain.
Yeah.
A lot of growing pain.
A lot of pain.
Well, you know what? A big win will help those growing pains, and that's exactly what they got Friday night. They scored 2 TDs in the last 3.5 minutes and came back and beat Little Rock Parkview 24-21. A tremendous game. Springdale looked like they were done. I mean, they're down 21-9, 3.5 minutes to go and not looking good at all. They get a fumble, turn that into a touchdown, make a great defensive stop, get another touchdown, and they win 24-21. You know what makes players grow up, Rick? Winning games.
Winning games.
That's what does it. So that, absolutely great deal for Springdale there.
Well, you can talk to you, man. You walk off that field with that victory. What goes in here comes out that way. But to win that game, they outscored them, I think, maybe 15-0 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And you're not going to see Joe T. Robinson in the top 10 or anything, but they got some athletes. By the way, that's named after Senator Joe T. Robinson.
That's why they're called the Senators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
We're dropping knowledge here. We're dropping everything, dropping knowledge all over the place. We're going to take a break right here. We want you to see some of the great photos that our NWA photographers got in the last week during football games and volleyball games and all the pregame. I bet they were over at Farmington too, Rick. I bet they got some good stuff over there with the skydivers coming in and all that.
Saw them. Yeah.
So take a break right here, take a look at those, and when we come back, Paul Boyd will bring you this week's volleyball report. So we'll be right back with Prep Rally.
Come on, Paul.
Paul Boyd with the Northwest Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, bringing you the volleyball report tonight from Tiger Arena, where the Bentonville Lady Tigers swept Van Buren tonight. Senior outside hitter Savannah Riney had 18 kills to lead everyone this evening. Trinity Hamilton, 10 kills and 10 digs, but the libero, Chloe Eakin, had the big night with 27 digs, anchoring a really, really great defensive effort from Bentonville tonight as they rolled and picked up their first 6A West Conference win tonight. In other 6A West action tonight, Fayetteville sweeps Rogers. Ariana Walter had 7 kills and 5 blocks. Rosanna Hicks had a team high 8 kills as Fayetteville was too much for Rogers tonight. Springdale Har-Ber picks up a win, also in straight sets tonight. Sophomore Kat Cooper had 15 kills. Sophomore Kaylin Coons, 28 assists. Big night for the Lady Wildcats. They had a big weekend, winning the early bird tournament in Bentonville over the weekend. They a young team really starting to grow, and they roll tonight in conference play.
So how about Springdale Har-Ber girls? Now, Rick, we talked about the Springdale football team.
Yep.
They're playing a lot of young players. Har-Ber is starting 4 sophomores on their volleyball team. So they had a little growing pain early, lost the first couple of matches, kind of get their feet under them. And Cassie Lloyd, their first-year coach, she's put 4 sophomores in there. Now they're starting to roll a little bit, won a big tournament over the weekend. So major props to them.
They won the early bird?
Won the early bird. So major props to them. So, Rick, last week you and I were at the Apex Network Physical Therapy Game of the Week over at Farmington. Loved it. Just absolutely beautiful facility over there. Yep. That red and black on the field with that green. Beautiful. I told Brad Blue, the AD at Farmington, I said, Brad, this place has got everything except a bass fishing pond. He said, we're working on that.
Yep, they got it.
We're working on that.
Hey, they got that big indoor facility. They got an outdoor track. Do you see the outdoor track right there?
That.
Yeah, they're going to fix that up. Maybe hold some conference meets or state meets or something. But Cardinal, the field was beautiful. And like you said, that big, the new carpet. You'd almost like, you want to take your shoes off.
Yes.
Don't get it dirty.
You mean you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right.
At least they didn't have spikes on them. But that was a great game. And that's more in my line for what I like. There's a
45-minute first half.
45 minutes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
45 minutes, yes.
Yeah.
I was loving it. Game was over with at 9:15. I was in my truck heading home at 9:15 Friday night. See, and I've already drafted a letter to the AAA that says, all games have to end before 9:30, and only 5 passes in the game for each team. You pick one.
Prairie Road didn't pass the first half.
Did
right?
not. They passed 3 times the whole game.
Oh.
So, beautiful game. It was fast, just the way I like it. Because, Rick, what numbers on that scoreboard do we root for? They're the ones that go backward down to 0.
The one goes backward.
That's what we root for. But Farmington 27-7 in that game. Drew Sturgeon, Rick, is there a better athlete in the area than that kid? Here's what he did. Yeah. He caught 5 passes.
Yep.
One of those was a touchdown.
Yep.
He ran the ball 3, 4, 5 times, I think, on jet sweeps.
Yep.
I believe one of those was a touchdown.
Okay, yeah, he sure did.
It was. He punted.
Yeah.
He kicked off
in the end zone like almost every time.
Yes, and I'm not sure, but I think he might have sang the national anthem before the game. There's nothing he didn't do.
Was he one of the skydivers?
He could have been a skydiver. He might have been a skydiver.
He is an all-around athlete, and he plays other sports too,
absolutely.
doesn't he?
We caught up with him after the game, and here's what Drew Sturgeon had to say about the big win over rival Prairie Grove.
I'm talking with Drew Sturgeon after Farmington's big 27-7 win. How's that feel?
Great. It's always great to beat PG at the first game of the season, and to kick it off right here, it's even better. So, just great.
How important was it for you guys to get a win in this first game in the stadium? Was it something you talked about, or?
For sure. Every day. It'll definitely give us some momentum to keep fighting throughout the season. It's just always good to beat PG on the first game of the year.
So I know, protect this house is a big thing.
100%.
How important was that for you?
100%. It's just great that with the stadium being built and it being the first year playing PG here, first game, it's just the perfect setting, and it was just great to kick it off and beat them.
They got the opening kickoff and went down and scored on you. What did it feel like? No one had to play from behind like that.
Just keep telling everyone to keep their heads up, and we knew all along that we could come back and fight and win the whole time. So.
How big was it for you to come back and answer that with the drive of your own?
We had some ups and downs on the drive, some penalties and everything, but the main part was keeping our heads up and everything, and just getting the dub. Yeah.
So this week, Rick, you and I are going to be at Springdale Har-Ber. Now,
Okay.
Har-Ber hasn't played in, I think, a year and a half, it seems like. Anyway, they played Pulaski Academy way back on August the 29th, I think it was, way back then.
They had time to think about that one.
They've had time to think about it. Now, they've also had time to, something I didn't realize this until after I looked at the box score. Har-Ber played that game and scored 68 points without Micah Seawood. He did not play in that game, injured hamstring. Mm-hmm. Well, he's back. This week, they'll host Russellville on Friday night. That will be our Apex Network Physical Therapy Game of the Week. We'll be over there about 5:30 on Friday. Rick and I will be there. We'll get there early, get our seat. Now, we're challenging you, Har-Ber students, if you want to join us for our big pregame show, come on out. Show us what you got.
You want to see just a couple old guys sitting there going blah, blah, blah. We need some young blood.
Come on with us. Just keep it clean.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, kind of clean.
Yeah, kinda.
But anyway, that's our game of the week this week. Har-Ber will be hosting Russellville, so they're going to get it going again over there. So Rick, you and I will be over there early, about 5:30. So come and join us over there for that. So that's it for us, Rick. We're done for the week. We're going to go ahead and get our game face on. Going to get our eye black painted on, and get ready to take on some football on Friday night. So be sure and catch us. Don't forget, we will all have full coverage of all the games in the area in the Northwest Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, as well as online, NWADG.com. Rick and I will be live Friday night at 5:30 on YouTube Live. So, come out, join, hang out with us a little bit, buy us a hot dog if you want to. I wouldn't object. Rick, would you object? We wouldn't object.
Or two of them.
So be sure and catch us. Don't forget the great photos that we'll have for all these games, football games, volleyball, and everything that we cover. If it's a ball and it bounces and they keep a score, or if they run, or if they hit it with the golf club, or if they swim with it, or whatever, we will have it in the NWADG. That's it for us, and we will see you next time on Prep Rally.
We're coming for you, Springdale.
Coming for you.